Hey teens and hey families, quarantine content, keeping it positive, keeping it real.
Let's get into it. Why did the snake cross the road?
I don't know.
To get to the other side.
Are you bored out of your minds, or are you keeping it positive and creative? I grew up in a big family, and being the second of 6 kids, sometimes you find yourself in a time of conflict. Do you know what I mean? Growing up, did you ever have a sibling that was bigger and stronger than you? They would sit on you and then, hilarious to them, take your own hands and smack your own face and say those infamous words, "Stop hitting yourself." I can relate, but I can also confess that trend passed down from sibling to sibling. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember that Bible story of Joseph and his big family? Yeah, his brothers hated him. So much so that they threw him in a well, sold him into slavery, and then told his dad that he was dead. Wow. Years later, those brothers had the shock of their life to find out that their little brother Joseph became the second most powerful man in the entire world at the time. If you were Joseph and you came face to face with those that did you wrong, and you had the power and authority to execute judgment, what would you do? What would you say? I think Joseph's response in that situation speaks directly to our lives right now. This is what Joseph said to his brothers in Genesis 50, verse 19 and 20. Joseph said to them, "Do not be afraid, for am I in the place of God? But as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, in order to bring about as it is this day, to save many people alive." How do you think Joseph would have responded to that if you told him that any other time than in this moment? Yeah, Joseph, your brothers hate you, they lied about you, your father thinks you're dead, you got dragged off into slavery, you got misaccused, and by the way, God's gonna use this for good. As humans, our nature is to search for answers because deep down inside, we love justice. We could try to come up with answers on why we think God is allowing this time of the coronavirus, but my encouragement to you is to wrap your heart and mind around the reality that God can even use a time like this for good. Kind of like when my brother used to hit me in the face with my own hand and say, "Why are you hitting yourself?" God can even use terrible and bad and painful things for the good in our lives. 2,000 years ago, God in the flesh, Jesus Christ, took on the most evil upon himself to be able to set us free from our sin and separation from God. If we can't hold on to anything else, we can hold on to that good news. Take some time today and read the story of Joseph, starting in Genesis 37, and see how God used all of these circumstances for good. Teens and families, we truly love you and miss you, and we hope to see you soon.